Trump is at it again with his threats during the Easter weekend. The squatter follower relationship is a feedback loop of emotions, ideas, thoughts, values, beliefs, and actions. Um, a healthy leader and movement that is trying to create a better, more just democratic society is empowered by the relationship towards positive ends. An unhealthy leader or squatter and movement can cause great harm to society through outcomes that are much more pernicious and damaging than any one leader could likely achieve by themselves. Donald Trump and his maggot movement are decidedly in the second category, meaning that he's unhealthy and he will cause great harm to our society, along with his maggot followers. Political scientists, social psychologists, and other researchers have repeatedly shown that Trump sycophants are deeply attracted to his law-breaking and general contempt for democracy and social norms because they see such antisocial behavior as an example of a strong leader, which is the exact opposite, and who will fight for people like them, which he doesn't fight for them anyway. This is a defining feature of the conservative authoritarian political personality type. As we have seen throughout modern history and before, fascism and other forms of illiberal politics corrupt the ethics and morals of the people who are attracted to such political projects. Sick leaders attract sick followers. Sick societies produce sick leaders and sick movements. Since Trump's arrest and indictment in Manhattan, Trump has upped his threats and incitements to destruction, terrorism, civil war, white supremacy, anti-Semitism, paranoid delusions, and other evil. Instead of pushing Trump's loyal sycophants and cultists away from him, such negative and pathological behavior is bringing them all closer together in what they see as an apocalyptic existential struggle against Democrats. In a conversation that was put out last week, Dr. Justin Frank, who is one of the country's leading mental health experts and author of the book Trump on the Couch, had issued the following ominous warning about the ex-squatter traitor apparent state of mind in the aftermath of his being arrested and indicted in Manhattan. Now, Trump is dominated by the death instinct, which includes pleasure in being destructive, and he takes pleasure in being destructive. A person who has that temperament is going to manage his anxieties and fears and other stress by escalating fantasies of destructiveness. In Trump's mind, he is visualizing burning things and blowing them up. He is fantasizing about hurting other people, and those fantasies of harm and destruction bring him great pleasure. A person like Trump may be fantasizing about committing acts of mass murder. Now, if Trump were a mafia boss, he would get his consigliaries to act on his behalf. Now, for Trump to truly be calm and at peace, he would need to rule the world and to dominate everyone around him. Trump lives to make other people miserable and scared. He will also not let himself feel dependent on or need other human beings. Now, in the days since that conversation, Donald Trump's public mental decompensation and violent acting out and other terroristic threats have greatly escalated. Now, last Sunday, Trump celebrated Easter by issuing the following proclamation on his broad social disinformation platform: "Happy Easter to all, including those that dream endlessly of destroying our country like you did, because they are incapable of dreaming about anything else but that." Yeah, like you dreamed about destroying our country, and you did. Those that are so incompetent that they don't realize that having a border and powerful wall is a good thing. Technically, the wall's not a good thing, and Trump is so incompetent, so he's describing himself. When he talks about radicals, he's talking about Republicans, not Democrats. And on Easter, Trump also threatened World War III. Now, last week, Trump also chose to amplify what is a de facto death threat from one of the users of fraud social against President Biden. Now, this is what Trump said. Now, he says perverted Joe Biden is a treasonous traitor trying to overthrow the United States of America and our Constitution. Trump, you described your fat fucking self. Basically, he says, "Oh, that makes him and the Democrats public enemy." No, Trump, that means you're the enemy, and so are the inbred sycophants that support you. Yes, you're paying for your, and then he says, that Biden will pay for his crimes against humanity and treason. Trump, you're talking about yourself. This is not the first time that Donald Trump has either directly or indirectly threatened the lives and safety of President Biden and other leading Democrats, but because it is so unseemly and disturbing, the American mainstream news media and larger political class have incorrectly and irresponsibly decided to largely ignore or downplay such acts of stochastic terrorism and other verbal bomb throwing. Now, via email, Dr. Frank shared these concerns and warnings about Trump's deteriorating mental health and behavior. Now that Trump is back squatting in his lair at Mar-a-Lago, He feels free to write and say what the fuck he wants without pesky fact checkers getting in the way or disbelievers sliding into his DMs. He can give stern speeches to a handful of unquestioning hand-picked sycophants who know when to cheer and boo. And this is because Trump cannot deal with any divergence from his perspective. The reception that he received in New York on Tuesday must have been disconcerting, to say the least, for the boy in the partisan bubble. His projection is there for everyone to see. Those that dream endlessly of destroying our country because they are incapable of dreaming anything else. This is the most autobiographical of all his projections over the years. They come straight from his consciousness. He is like the child who says his brother pushed him down the stairs, neglecting to mention the fact that he provoked it. And to anyone paying attention, Trump's outbursts are transparent. He gives permission to unstable people to carry out their grievances at a murderous level. And this is not just because violent people love Trump, but because they are following Trump's stated practice of striking back 10 times as hard with any means available when he feels wronged. Now I'm beginning to think a warning or even a gag order is not sufficient. He needs to be secured where nobody can hear him. Can hear his genuinely dangerous outpourings, and it needs to be now. Now, fascism and other forms of authoritarian and anti-human politics take hold over our society through normalization. The normalization process is accelerated by how a society's leaders and other influentials, especially among the political class and media, come to see such aberrant behavior as somehow a new type of normal, and convince themselves that ignoring fascists and other anti-democratic leaders and movements will somehow make them go away, which is not the case. Now, even more dangerous is when institutional political parties, such as the Democrats, convince themselves that they can negotiate or compromise with neo-fascists, which you can't. Authoritarians and other malign actors, such as today's Republican Party, in order to find consensus and common ground. Technically, the Republicans are a lost cause. Basically, you can't reason with them. Such an approach is a practical endorsement of surrender to fascism and authoritarianism. Now, although Joe Biden may be president, the age of Trump and ascendant neo-fascism are continuing to spread across the country, largely unchecked. The age of Trump is a form of malignant normality that the American people are far from escaping. Now, to wit, polls show that if the 2024 presidential or squatter election were held today, President Biden and the squatter Donald Trump would be in a tie. Now, Biden, whatever faults he has, is a good human being and a dedicated public servant who believes in democracy. Trump, on the other hand, is a fascist, demagogue, and an enemy of the common good. Dr. Frank highlighted the difference between the two men in the following way. Compare Trump's behavior with President Biden's Easter message. Now today, we hold close the Easter message that nothing, not even death, can match the power of faith, hope, and love. And we remember Jesus' sacrifice, and we commit ourselves to love God with all our hearts and to love our neighbors as ourselves, embracing His call to treat one another with compassion. That was Biden's message. Now, to complete the picture, Trump also posted in capital letters World War III. A healthy society would not have elected Trump in the first place. A healthy society, or one that wanted to get better, would certainly not put him in a position to repeat itself in an even worse way with his reign of terror and destruction. As Donald Trump faces more serious legal consequences for his political crime spree and the 2024 election grows closer, he will become only more dangerous, violent, and out of control. And for the safety of our country, Trump must be contained and stopped. Now, will the American people and law enforcement have the courage to do this? We will soon find out, and the answer will determine the future of the country and its democracy and society. So, if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, REW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support, and also you can leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for just a little as a few bucks a video or a month, your donation can help go a long way. And thanks for listening.